Okay. let me ask a question before you even look at it. Tell me why you act the way you do sometimes. Because we are quick to say, "Oh, I can't help it." Okay. So why do we act the way that we act sometimes? People get on our nerves. Amen. All right. You know, you took the words out of my mouth. You'll be all right until certain people just walk up, and I'd be like, Lord, that's what I'm talking about right there. Something was going on yesterday in my class, and now before I knew it, I said, "Save us again, Lord." That was one of the temperament moments from my mother. Save us again, Lord, because I didn't listen. The way I was feeling at that moment, I was like, Lord have mercy. Um, so, um, so people drive us to act the way that we act. What are some other factors you think that drive us to act the way that we do? Hereditary traits. Okay, very good. Anybody else? Stress. Okay, these are all very good answers, and they're all correct. Not enough rest, burnout. Yes, I tell people quick. Don't ask me a whole bunch of questions when I'm tired. I might tell you anything. When you wanted something, go wait till you sleep. I, uh, go, I go to my mama. She said, my grandmother used to say, "Wake up and go to sleep." What do you want? So, so let's talk about temperament. So temperament is the combination of traits we inherited from who? Okay, so it goes further than our parents. It goes for our grandparents and great grandparents. Okay, Toby, I love it. Toby's more so when he goes to sleep. He's done it since he was little. Um, when Toby goes to sleep, a lot of times when he's relaxing, he gets in his bed and he like my grandfather. Okay, I have Toby can also cross his legs and sip and drink coffee like my grandmother. Okay, like my mother's mother. Now, I have certain things I do. Certain times I put my hand like this. That's a mama and daddy moment. Okay, when I'm driving and I've been driving on like on a long distance trip, I might take my seatbelt off and sit up. That's a daddy trait. Okay, so we have when I'm being comical, when I'm hopping all over the place. That's a mama trait. She's like, I don't act like that. And I find myself, Kay and I were at the house last night talking about something, and I forgot what I said. I said, oh, I sound just like mama. It was funny, and I started laughing, but it was the truth. Okay. Before we left for Asheville, she was like, the cob is in the corn. Something else I was like, I said, "Hmm." I put the gas in the beans. Mama, I was like, slow down. Okay. So they're a combination of traits we inherited from our parents. Nobody knows where it resides, but it is thought it resides somewhere in the mind or emotional center. So when you've heard apostles say the center is your heart, not the heart that beats. This right here. All right. So I'm not gonna do all this reading, but I just want to get started. So from that source, it combines from other human characteristics to produce our basic makeup. Most of us are more conscious of its expression than we are of its function. We know it comes out, and we'll say, oh, like I did. That's the mama moment. I got that from my daddy. Okay, so we recognize that. All right. Temperament influences everything you do, from sleep habits to study habits to eating style to the way you get along with other people. Okay? The older I've become more introverted. Okay? I talk or I'm on when I have to be. When I don't have to be, I sit and be quiet. Some of y'all couldn't believe that. You watched me Sunday evening. Did I say anything until it was time for me to get up? I sat there dead silent. The only way you knew I was here was the organ. I didn't say anything. Some people just don't believe that. If I don't have to say anything, I will not move. If I didn't have to get up and present license Sunday evening as Joy's pastor, I would not have. And I didn't feel like talking then, even though I was excited. Okay? All right. So, humanly speaking, there is no other influence in your life more powerful than your temperament or combination of temperaments. We are not one solid temperament. There we are combined, and we're going to talk about the four temperaments tonight. All right. That is why it is so essential to know your temperament and to be able to analyze other people's temperaments, not to condemn them, but so you can maximize your potential and enable them to maximize others. We know, listen, it's what like we say, you know what makes them tick. Okay, I understand why you the way you are. So since I understand why you the way you are, I ain't gonna bother you. Or I will know how to deal with you. I will know how to approach you. Okay, ma'am. Or stay away. Right. Okay. So we're gonna go backwards. Let's go to page 3 of 3. And I want you to look at the picture. So melancholy. Their color is blue for water. They're deep thinkers, poetic and analytical. They feel things deeply. They take things personally. Devoted and compassionate, thoughtful and reserved. Get overwhelmed by tasks. Sometimes anxious, glass is half empty, and sometimes they are fearful. All right? That's the introverted person. Phlegmatic, green for earth, appears lazy, relaxed and peaceful, quiet and complacent, likes to be left alone, loves food and swimming, can be hard to motivate, cheerful and easygoing, likes comfort, avoids crisis, peacemaker. These are your introverts. All right. On the right hand side, we have the extroverts. The choleric, red, fire, fiery, quick in action, natural leaders, keen interest, quick to judge, easy to anger and unforgiving, demanding and aggressive, organized, ambitious, heroic. Okay? That may not be all of you. So you might have some in other places. Right. So you're going to be a combination of something. All right, sanguine, yellow for air, social, activities, discussions, loves people, delight in change, trouble concentrating, loving and forgiving, innovative, talkative, forgetful. Some people were coming to my mind when I was reading this today. I saw one person in particular. I said, Lord. And as usual, when people need to hear stuff, they ain't nowhere to be found. All right, so we're going back to page 1. So I wanted you to understand when we start looking at what uh the different personality or temperament types, you know what we're talking about. Yes, ma'am. You might be all of it. Can we have a mic on the floor, a stand on the floor? So I'm if you have questions, pass it. So can you say that again? Because we're recording. Who? Green, dark green. Okay, try it. Oh, check the box.
Oh, I was asking, what if you're a mixture of all these traits? Maybe a little bit of all of them. Mm.
but right, there is one dominant type, and that's why we're going to take the test. All right. So if we were in a counseling session, and if you've been in a counseling session with somebody before, if it's a husband and wife, family, somebody at work, okay, the sanguine will talk about the weather, friends, and 100 other things before facing the problem. Okay, beating around the bush. Test. Okay, good. All right. So, anybody know any sanguines they're gonna talk about? We don't even have to be in a counseling session. One of my children is a sanguine. Talk about everything. He said, "Can you get to the problem? Can you get to the situation?" All right. The choleric gets right to the point. He or she wants you to straighten out his partner so he can have a good home life. How many cholerics do we have in here? Uh huh. Got a few of those. All right. The melancholy sighs deeply as he sits down with depression, self pity, and unhappiness etched on his face. Oh God, I know some people like that. Depressed all the time. Something is always wrong. Always. I got something to eat last night from Zaxby's because I was done eating all. I ain't have no more chili left. My mama cooked for me, so I got hungry again. So I went to Zaxby's. So the young lady at Zaxby's, she was taking my order. Thank you for coming trying Zaxby's. How may I help you? And I was on the phone with Tasha. I said, "But where's the joy of the Lord?" I said, "Oh, excuse me." Depressed. All right. The phlegmatic rarely gets around to making an appointment, and when he or she does, it takes most of the first half hour just to prime their conversational pump. What are you here for? What's wrong? Mm-hmm. Nothing. Okay. Okay. You know anybody like that? Okay. So let's look at. I picked four main categories. There's so many. It was talking about eating habits, driving habits, yard work, all kinds of stuff. How they balance money, how they pay their bills, how they drive. So let's look about all of this. Let's go to. I'm not going to insult your intelligence to read. So y'all, let's and when you have a question, we can discuss. Stop and discuss it. All right. The sanguines. We're talking about their eating habits. Eat everything in sight, or as my grandma would say, everything that ain't nailed down. Okay. And usually look in a restaurant. So they enjoy they and when they're in a restaurant, they so enjoy talking to they almost never look at a menu until the waitress arrives. What would you like to eat? I ain't ready yet. You know people like that. I can't. I love when you Toby. I love him. He's my guinea pig tonight. Toby, go ahead and decide what you want to eat now. Everybody else knows what we want to eat. We get there. Okay, sir. Um, Toby, what do you want? Let me have this right here. You've had all this time. Okay, Toby is the sanguine in this point. He was gonna eat until his soul is satisfied, and ain't if it ain't satisfied, he gonna keep going. All right, okay. Cholerics, stereotype eaters. This would be Angel. Why? Every time we're going to eat, Angel, you gonna have chicken tenders. I can't. I can't follow it because when I go certain places, I'm gonna stick with certain things that I know. I just know. I know it's not gonna make me sick. That I can handle. If I feel like I want something to take home, I will have enough to take home. All right. Um, we don't necessarily bolt it down in big chunks. Um, no, that ain't us. But and I don't, I don't do too much talking while I'm eating my food. Now I've been out to dinner with certain people. If I sit and talk, I know if somebody else, you time is we sitting there eating, and they just talk, 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 talk. Will you shut up, please? Do something. Bring them a to-go box, please. All right. Melancholies, very picky eaters. It takes them forever to make up their minds about what to order, but once it arrives, they savor every bite and eat very slow. Okay, y'all know anybody like that? I have a aunt. They called her a nickname about an animal, and she just so slow, slow, slow. Just gotta savor every morsel. Okay. And I was watching. I'm a fan of Mama's Family, the old time show, and Thelma, which is Mama. Her sister Fran was Thelma. Mama wanted Fran to take her somewhere so she could buy this hat. Well, Fran was taking her precious time, and she had to savor every morsel. And Thelma was standing there waiting to pick up a plate. She grabbed the napkin. She grabbed the plate. She grabbed the fork. She's like, "I got to savor every bite." All right. Phlegmatics are the most deliberate eaters of all and are invariably the last ones eating. Again, Toby. Okay. So Toby is the sanguine and the phlegmatic. Why? Because Toby is the last one eating. Okay. That is the main reason they rarely gain weight. Now, that's not always the case. Okay. So, okay. They say it takes 20 minutes for food passing in the mouth to shut off hunger pains. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
People that they smell everything before they eat it. I mean, it seems like I mean, you can smell the food, but they got to put up to their nose, everything, everything, everything.
Well, what if it don't smell good? What if it don't? Okay, okay. Taste everything. Because Toby was tube fed at first. Okay, okay. Bad hair. Sometimes if it don't, if it doesn't look right to me, I'll say quick. This needs a prayer. Okay. So, all right. So let's turn the page. Temperament and driving skills. Sanguines are erratic drivers. Sometimes they speed, then for no apparent reason lose interest in driving fast and slow down. They are so people oriented that they want to look you in the face when talking, even while driving. Mm. Well, he's not here. One night, "Doc, where were we going?" And Reuben drove. Oh God, we were going to get the award for the choir. We were getting the award for the choir. And so Reuben said, "I drive." I said, "Oh Lord." I said, "Yeah." Tasha said, "He driving." I said, "Right." So he talking and looking at us. We like, keep your eyes on the road. Okay. Oh God. See, right. I just there was another person I that would when I was a few years ago we were in and I was going different places for ministry, preaching places, and I didn't trust him in the daytime. I was so glad to get to church one Sunday. Folks thought I really had joy. I was. I did have joy that the Lord didn't allow me to be killed before I got to His house. So one night I had to preach in New Bern, and it was a long drive, and I preached, and um, yeah, it's foggy, it's cold. So we're going out to eat after the service, and so this individual was asleep. So my sister said, "Well, he can drive you." I said, "You must be crazy." I said, "He ain't getting over here in my driver's seat." I said, "I'll drive myself." "But you just preached." I said, I said I was preaching and driving for myself before I had an attitude. So, I was like, get him out of the seat. Not focus. Slide over a little bit. Over this way. It's really bad when you pressing the brakes on the passenger side or you got to grab the steering wheel on the other side. So that's how I was. I said, you ain't gonna be driving me. All right. Cholerics are speed demons, daring speed demons who dart in and out of traffic constantly. They always try to get more accomplished in a given period of time that is humanly possible and attempt to make up time by driving furiously between appointments. Y'all know anybody like that? Always in there. Listen. You know you got to be at work at 8 o'clock. You can't be in the shower if you got to be at work at 8 o'clock. You can't be in the shower at 7:45. Okay, I don't. That's why I don't do well. I don't do well when, especially when I'm out of town. They say, "Oh, the church that you're preaching at is only 5 minutes away." Mm-mm. I had to give myself time. I don't. I really don't like to be anywhere on the moment, on right on the minute. Okay, I need to give myself time. To get things done, to pull myself together. Okay. Melancholy motorists never leave home without preparing for the trip well in advance. They study the map and know the best route from A to Z. Of all the temperaments, they are the most likely to keep a complete log of their driving history, including gas and oil consumption and car repairs. Legalists by nature, they rarely speed. Man, I was driving behind this person this morning on my way to work. Speeding with 35. And I don't know about y'all, but I have it to where like I can see digitally where like how fast I'm going. I was doing 33, then we finally moved up to 34, then we finally moved up to 35. I was like, this man could get an award for doing speed limit. Like I guess he thought like driving Miss Daisy and said, this is my car, and my husband said you save gas when you drive under the speed limit. But we ain't going for 19 miles per hour, Miss Daisy. I'm what goes on in my car. So she in the back seat. Okay. So Phil Flamatic is the slowest driver of all. The last one to leave an intersection, he rarely changes lanes and is in indecisive danger when joining the flow of freeway traffic from an entrance ramp. If you wait, they will come. That's what my Uncle Larry told me when I was learning to drive. He is a pokey Sunday driver 7 days a week. He gets few tickets and rarely has accidents, but he can be a road hazard. Lord have mercy. Okay, so any thoughts? Because we're not gonna read all this, but I just want you to have some information. Anybody? Any thoughts so far? Okay. So we're going to stop here and we're going to take our test. And then once we do that, I'm going to give you some other information. You will see what you are combining. So don't be scared. Answer as honestly as you can. All right. I haven't done it yet. So I'm going to do it with